What is your name?
My name's Jerry.
Miss Jerry, you have a charge of public intoxication, a C misdemeanor. I'm not asking whether you agree with the charge, but you understand what you've been charged with.
Yes, sir.
I need to go over your rights. You have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to say anything about the charge. If you give up that right, anything you do say may be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney represent you if you cannot afford one. I can appoint one to represent you. And you have the right to have a preliminary hearing on the charge where a judge would listen to evidence and determine whether there is probable cause for the charge to be prosecuted. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? And do you swear affirm the answer you gave on your affidavit is true?
I do.
Nope, Archer. And how long have you lived in Knoxville?
25 years.
Because you've had recent charges, you don't qualify for pretrial release. Your bail will be set at $250. You'll hang on 1 second. I'll make sure you have an attorney and we'll set your court date. I'm appointing attorney Mitchell Harbor to represent you. I'm waiving the administrative fee because you've already been assessed that. Your case will be set initially for this Wednesday, the 4th of January 4th in misdemeanor court. If you are able to bond out before then, they'll give you a new court date. That'll be out a few weeks. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
What is your name?
Amber Martin.
You have two warrants. One is for simple possession of methamphetamine, and the other is just another simple possession charge. Both of those are A misdemeanors. I'm not asking whether you agree with the charges, but do you understand what you've been charged with? And you have been released to pretrial supervision on these, but it looks like there's another matter that's holding you.
Child support.
Okay. I do need to go over your rights. You have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to say anything about these charges. If you give up that right, anything you do say may be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney represent you if you cannot afford one. I can appoint one to represent you, and you have the right to have a preliminary hearing on these charges where a judge would listen to evidence and determine whether there is probable cause for the charges to be prosecuted. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? And do you swear affirm the answers you gave on your affidavit are true?
Yes, sir.
How long? And, well, it's, okay. Do you have an attorney on your child support matters?
Yes, sir.
The only reason I ask is if it was an attorney that also takes criminal cases, I was going to appoint the same attorney just to keep it all under one attorney.
Okay.
but I'm going to appoint the Knox County Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm waiving the administrative fee. Because you're not being held on these, we're going to go out a little ways, and hopefully you can get your child support matter settled. We're going to go to, we'll go to January the 31st in misdemeanor court for a preliminary hearing. Because obviously these aren't keeping you in custody. So as soon as you're able to get out on your child support matter, you'll be released on these as well.
Okay. How much will it cost for me to actually get out on child support?
That's I don't know if it tells me right now. It looks like you have a capias with $1,000, but that's not my jurisdiction, so that's what is showing in the computer. But they should be setting you a court date here soon on your child support matter.
Okay.
But otherwise, the Public Defender's Office will be your attorney on these charges, and your court date will be January 31st. Good luck to you.
Okay. Thank you.
What is your name?
Rachel Palmer.
You have two charges: criminal impersonation, a B misdemeanor, and resisting arrest, also a B misdemeanor. You've been ROR'd on both of those already, but obviously looks like you also have a child support matter that's holding you.
Right.
So as soon as you're able to get out on that, you'll be released on these as well. I need to, first of all, I'm not asking whether you agree with the charges, but do you understand what you've been charged with? I need to go over your rights as well. You have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to say anything about these matters. If you give up that right, anything you do say may be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford one, I can appoint one to represent you. And you have the right to have a preliminary hearing on these charges where a judge would listen to evidence and determine whether there's probable cause for the charges to be prosecuted. Do you understand those rights? Can you raise your right hand for me, please? And you swear affirm the answers you gave on your affidavit are true?
Yes.
Thank you. How much do you make per week or per month on average?
Per week, $3 per hour plus tips, so it just depends.
But what's an average month or every 2 weeks or whatever?
I don't really know. They're all different. Sometimes it might be 200 per week, and then sometimes it might be 160 per week, or it depends on how many hours, because my hours are kind of different.
So from
Right now,
160 to 200 a week?
Something like that. Yeah, right now I'm only working like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
Or half of Friday, half Saturday, and half Sunday.
Do you have an attorney already on your juvenile matters?
No, sir. I haven't seen a judge yet.
Okay. That's fine. The only reason I ask is because if you already had an attorney and it was one of the attorneys on my appointment list for criminal cases, I'd appoint the same attorney so that you'd have one attorney dealing with both matters instead of having to deal with two different attorneys is all. Just for efficiency's sake. So I'm going to appoint the Knox County Public Defender's Office to represent you. There will be a $50 administrative fee assessed due by the 13th of January, but if you cannot pay it by then, don't worry, they'll add it to your other court costs. And we're going to go out on these to January the 31st in misdemeanor court. Because obviously these aren't holding you, so as soon as you're able to get out on the child support matter, you'll be released.
Okay.
But so hopefully we'll set these out, and you'll be able to address the child support issues and be out. But be sure and contact your attorney when you're out. They'll probably, if you're still in custody, they'll probably come see you.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All I have for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.